I could describe Mordred in one word, it's ambiguous. It's like I'm a child in a sweet shop, you know. And you go, oh my god, this is amazing. And like Arthur, you know, Bradley and Colin going, oh, shut up, all right, stop being so keen. I understand as a fan of the show how, not infuriating because that's not the right word, but how as a sort of a diehard fan would feel if one of their favourite characters, because Mordred is well loved, or Ace's Mordred is very well loved from the series, very well known as well, very well remembered, that the creepy little boy with the cloak, sort of with the bright blue eyes. People always remember images or how he was, or certain moments or certain scenes. So having to take that on board as well was tricky, and I know if you're a diehard fan, having someone to replace that is hard. I you know, as a fan, I'd be like in EastEnders. You see it, and suddenly Ian Beale's kid is growing up, and he's completely different. Completely, you know, little boy here, a little boy with brown hair suddenly is this 18-year-old blonde hair guy. And you're like, whoa! And he's not even Cockney, and you're like, what's happening here? This is weird. But so and people get cross because they feel like their show is being taken for granted or taken liberties. So I'm very aware of that, and I sort of want people to know that I am aware of it, and I think I'm trying to do it justice as much as I can. And Katie was very complimentary earlier, but there's still that weird thing of, because I sort of wish I could phone Asa. You know, I sort of wish I could speak to him and say, listen, if you'd have grown up and you still would have done this series, how would you have done this? Or what do you reckon of what's happened with his magic now? Or how does he do this certain thing? Or what's happened with, how would he hold himself? What do you reckon of this? But I can't, so I have to make a lot of my own decisions. So that was then, and like this is now, and this is new Mordred, and it's his own. I've tried to make him his own, while also throwing nods to the past. There's a lot of through lines. There's so many. Something that Merlin sees in the very start of episode 1 is the arc of the whole story. You don't necessarily see it in 4, 5, 6, and 7 and them episodes, but you do. But it's still there, underlying the whole thing. There's references to it. So in that way, it's similar to Who, in that sense of they have these brilliant sort of story arcs, and Game of Thrones in that respect, that a story might get lost, that you think that's forgotten, and then suddenly it'll come to the foreground. So no, but Mordred is very much main game player. He's back, and he doesn't go away, and he's not, I wouldn't say causing havoc. He has a better, sort of much more stronger through line through the whole of the series. Whatever happens in the start of 1 goes all the way through to the very end of this series, and there are so many little references to that, and it's just exciting to play, because whatever the audience think is going to happen, it's not. You don't really know where his allegiances lie, and that's brilliant to play, because there's moments where I'm on set and I want to do something quite specific. I've made up my mind, and I get sort of brushed away by the director saying you can't be that specific because he needs to be more appeased. The whole point of Mordred in this series is going, what's he going to do? Why is he here? And that question, especially, why is he here? Why is he? What's he doing in Camelot? Why is he here with all these characters suddenly out of the blue? Is the question that gets asked, especially for every episode, and it changes, and you'll go, oh, that's what he is then. That must be it. And then just when you think you've got it down, it twists again, and that's so much more fun to play. So much more fun to see as an audience member. I'd love to see something where it keeps you guessing rather than going, which is what people thought. You know, people thought, well, he's definitely taking Agravain's part, so they sort of roll their eyes and go, oh God, here goes Merlin repeating the same storylines again or whatever. But it's like, no, it's completely different. Trust in Series 5. That's what I say. I think the biggest topic for Mordred is the magic element. What they do on Series 5, I'm not going to give anything away, but they that topic of magic and how it's used with Mordred and Morgana and Colin and Bradley, and Merlin is really interesting. That's the main topic. It always gets brought up in scenes. He has magic. Does he choose to use it or not? That's very interesting. He knows about Emrys, about the Emrys thing. It never does it ever get used? It's like we have all these questions that are always underlying scenes, So I suppose I can't give you a really specific choice that I've done, but these questions keep coming up, and it's about me as an actor, as me and Alex, rather than going, what would Asa have done, or how did he do it? That was a little boy that had a lot of magic and didn't know how to express it. This is a guy that's grown up, has been away from Camelot and from our television for very many years, and has decidedly made his decision of who he is as a person. So, and you see that from the very start. The minute you see Mordred, I hope that you go, well, he's that person now. That's who